For today's operational video, we're going to be setting up documentation for an air cart through our 2630 display. Our first step to do is we're going to set up press our menu button in the bottom right corner. Then we're going to select GS3. We'll choose our resources button. Make sure our client, farm, and field information is filled out correctly. Our task, we want to change this over to seeding. Make sure that our crop season is correct. Next, we'll go to our equipment tab. Make sure we have the correct tractor selected, that it is on a rear pivot drawbar. For our implement, this is where we'll choose the 1910 cart. And now on our, since this is either a tow between or tow behind, depending on which air seeder you have, implement 1 could be your 1890, or implement 2 could be your 1890. But we do want to put both machines in there in the correct order. When you're doing the 1890 seeding tool in the implement model here, when you select on it, you'll notice it does say 1990. Just go ahead and select that, and then in implement name, once you select that drop down box, you'll see it'll say 1890, 1990, and then we'll choose the correct width drill that we have. We're going to use the 42 foot for today's example. On this here, we'll make sure that we would change our implement width, make it 42.5 feet as well. Now you did notice that that was grayed out there. Where that would actually be changed would be in your cart settings for your setup of your air cart for your tool. So that's why it won't let us change it there. The next step down is would be to fill out our document button. Documentation on an air cart is a little different than let's say on a row planner. You'll notice here at the top we've got multiple tabs. This time we've got planting and seeding 1 through 3. Now the reason we have 1 through 3 on this is this would be signaling that this cart has 3 different tanks set up on it. I know most air carts in our region here have 2 tanks, so we would just see a planting seeding 1 and planting and seeding 2. But it is important that we fill out all 3 of these tabs, no matter how many tanks that we have on our cart. So for each tab, we'll go through and we'll select a seed type. And then we'll click Add Variety. We'll enter our brand. Now you can change the color for the designation of that variety, and you can put in a lot number if you choose to as well. So we'll hit accept on that one. Now even if we're just going to plant out of that front tank, we still have to fill out information in the other 2 tanks as well, whether we're going to use them or not, for our documentation to work properly. So we'll just go through here, and you can fill out all of them exactly the same. It just requires something to be on each tab, so that way it knows if you do switch to that tank, what will be coming out of that tank. So if you were planting several different varieties with this, you could have each tank set to that particular variety. That way when you swap to it, you'd already know what was in that tank when you switched over. Once we get that set up, our documentation is now complete and we're ready to start planting.